Institute of Finance at the Renmin University of China. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Liu. Industrial profits declined slightly during the first 8 months of the year in China. Was it mainly due to the COVID-19 pandemic, or weak domestic consumption, or higher commodity prices?
Well, I think this is logical to know that the industrial profit dropped down even slightly, very small figure, but it's a good signature to tell the story about China's economy. As we know that in the past 8 months, during middle of the 8 months, that we have suffered some difficulties and headwinds to deal with the pandemic outbreak, and also the logistic disrupted and made a great negative influence on the production and efficiency of the economic development. So in this way, that in the second quarter, the GDP is only 0.4%. Even some big cities, negative GDP in monthly. So from this background, we see that the reason why the profit of the industrial declined slightly. But we know that consumption is still weak, and also investment is not so strong as we expected. So all these three factors combined together that have made this industrial profit slightly decline. This is a good experience for our economic development and also economic management, how to deal with some sudden challenges and more difficulties caused by uncertainties, global and domestic. And we hope that for the rest of this year that we can deal all these problems in a proper way.
From our reported stories earlier, we've seen a lot of activities in the industrial internet front, along with overall improvement in efficiency. What are the future prospects of industrial internet?
I should say the future prospect of the industrial internet will play a very important role in China's modernization. We need industrial internet. Internet advantage is that they can have high efficiency, but have a limited on saving timing and space. So the high efficiency comes from the high good quality management. So we see the smart management with the smarter technology combined together with the 5G technology. We can see the information transformation, information security, and also we got the information efficiency. All this information can be reformed and can be transformed with a high productivity. This is what China now has strengthened its efforts to develop its internet in the industrial area. Because from this area, we can develop further new technology, AI, and also some advanced technology to lead the global development in the higher equipment. We know that this challenge is also facing the rest of the global market, but China has done its best to try to be the best one that in the world to have a better and important role to lead this development, because as we know, internet will be the lifeline of our industrial modernization.
Last question, also important. The Eastern Data and Western Computing Project is reallocating data and computing resources across China. How can it provide new growth impetus for Western regions, which are building more data centers and supercomputer centers?
We should say that this strategy or this concept that the East data and the West computing is quite new, but very important for the Western region. As we know, we heard from the report that the Western region is still a backward in transportation, in the infrastructure, and also have a lower labor cost of the energy cost, also very high efficient with the lower cost. This is the reason that we should put this computing system or centers in the west part. Otherwise, also we can see that in order to train more talented people there, as we know that the east part of China is more advanced, advanced energies in the economies in the world. So east part of China is far less developed, but the western is a bigger gap. How to make the gap narrower and smaller? So this is a very important thing. We know that computing center is a processing center. When the information data processing is a comprehensive, very complicated technology, they need a lot of high quality equipment and also devices. So they need also the layout of this equipment infrastructure related. So by doing so, that I think the western part could be well managed and developed in a short time that to cope with the development in the east part. So the east data transported to the western computer to be processed, to be restored, to be secured. That also from the global geopolitical risk is also very important, not to the coastal areas. That's also very important step to protect our data.
Thank you so much for your insights, Mr. Liu Zhiqin from Renmin University of China. Chinese State Councillor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi met foreign ministers of several European countries during the 77th session of the UN General Assembly in New York. Wang Wenbin, a spokesperson for the Chinese Foreign Ministry, said that during his meetings, the Chinese Foreign Minister stressed on the need for more strategic partnerships, dialogue and communication between the two sides. He also urged the EU to maintain its strategic independence while promoting steady and long-term China-EU relations. Now let's take a look at what else is making headlines across China. A freight train loaded with exhibits for this year's China International Import Expo, or CIE, left from Hamburg, Germany on Monday. The train is expected to arrive in Shanghai in 22 days. China's central bank, the People's Bank of China, has injected cash amounting to 175 billion yuan, or $24 billion, through open market operations to keep liquidity stable by the end of the third term. Meanwhile, the National Bureau of Statistics said government spending on national development of technology